Hello everybody, this is Dr. Cole. It's Saturday afternoon, March 26th. Moving now into week 4 of Humanities 2333 Philosophy of Life for the spring 2022 term on the second 8-week schedule. Everybody, we've got quite a bit to talk about this week. Your first written assignment is due this Thursday, March 31st. You should be able to upload it in the modules area of the course website. I think the link to that is under Unit 3, the class notes for Lecture 3 on Plato and Aristotle. In any case, you should see that link in the modules area of the course website, or you may attach it to an email to me. But please try to get that in by the end of the day, Thursday, March 31st. We don't have all that big an enrollment, so I should be able to get through those pretty quickly and get a grade on them and get some comments on your papers back to you. Everybody, on the syllabus for this week, we have the class notes for lectures 5 and 6 on free will and determinism, and related to that, the topic of mind and body in lecture 5. And then in the class notes for lecture 6, we have a discussion of artificial intelligence, which has been the topic of quite a bit of interest in academic philosophy the past couple of decades. And if any of you are computer information systems majors, that's a topic that may be of some interest to you. Okay, among the questions to be raised, is it possible for such an entity really to think? Okay. And could an artificial intelligence entity be dangerous? Could it pose a threat? Okay, there's a good deal of disagreement among philosophers about that, but it's been a topic of tremendous interest, and it's related to philosophy of mind, which we're looking at in the class notes for lecture 5 on mind and body and the related topic of free will and determinism. Now, let me say just a couple things, everybody. We're going to have a second discussion coming up, and that will be underway when I speak to you a week from now at this time. That will be going Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. On the issue of mind and body, the main issue to be discussed is, and your discussion topic asks you to think about this, are you a materialist or a dualist? Okay. Now, a materialist on the issue of mind and body would say that the phenomenon of mind is strictly a function of that gray matter between our ears, our brains. It's strictly a physical phenomenon, according to a materialist on the issue of mind and body. Okay. Now, if you are a dualist, okay, and a dualist is frequently but not always related to a theistic position, okay, then you would say that mind is not necessarily material. It may be related somehow, but you perhaps might insist that the capacities that human beings exhibit can't be accounted for completely on the basis of a material explanation. So there must be something going on that's not really material, that's immaterial, to explain the phenomenon of mind. So you can be either a materialist or a dualist on the issue of the relation between mind and body. You'll be reading about that in the lecture notes for the class notes for lecture 5. We've posted a couple of other readings for you to look at. That's mentioned in the email and the announcement that I sent out earlier today, that are all posted in the modules area of the course website for Unit 5, the class notes for Lecture 5. So please do take a look at those readings as you get ready for that discussion coming up in about a week from now. Once we do the discussion, everybody, we'll be leading up to our midterm exam on April 12th. Okay, we'll be finishing up the material for the midterm exam, not this week, but next week. We do the material on the syllabus for this week and next week, and that will conclude the material for the midterm exam on the 12th. All right, so you have some material to look at for class notes for lecture 5 on mind and body, free will and determinism, and then you have the class notes for lecture 6 on artificial intelligence. Then you have a discussion coming up on April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th We'll ask you to look at the assignment for the discussion, which is up on the course website. Okay, under Unit 5, the class notes for Lecture 5. Okay, and you have some readings that are relevant to that you want to take a look at before you take part in that discussion. Okay. Now, everybody, let me say, before we go, the class notes for Lecture 5 include the mind-body problem and also the related issue of free will and determinism. Okay, do we really have free will or not? Now, I should caution you, this is some material that sometimes trips students up on their exam, so let me say just a few words about it. Okay. If you believe there's such a thing as free will, then according to your class notes, you would be classified as a libertarian. Now, that has nothing to do with libertarianism as a political philosophy. This simply means human beings have free will in this sense of the term, libertarianism. Now, if you're not a libertarian, you're more likely a determinist, which means that you think that the experiences that people have or the things that people encounter in their environment more or less completely determine their behavior. All right, so you can take the position that people's behavior is either free or determined. Okay, if you believe in free will, then you would be a libertarian on the free will issue. And if you don't, you would be a determinist. Now, the class notes refer to hard determinism and soft determinism. Okay, now, be very careful. Keep this in mind. Both the hard determinist and the soft determinist are determinists without any qualification. They believe that people's behavior is completely determined. But the soft determinist believes that that is compatible with holding people responsible for their actions, which is a very, very important practical question for the judicial system, the courts, and the correction system. Are we warranted in holding people responsible and in some cases punishing them for their behavior? Okay. The soft determinist says that we are warranted in doing that, even though the soft determinist believes our behavior is completely determined. Okay. The hard determinist would say, no, we're not free, we're completely determined, and furthermore, that means it doesn't really make sense to hold ourselves or other people responsible, which might pose a problem again for the courts, the judicial system, and the correction system. Perhaps we'll have to do the same thing that we call punishing people or something similar, but call it something else if we are hard determinists. And we don't really believe that people can be held responsible. So keep that distinction in mind, but remember that both the hard determinist and the soft determinist are determinists without qualification. They both believe that our behavior is completely determined. So keep an eye out for that distinction as you read the class notes for Lecture 5. Okay. Then our second discussion will be underway a week from this time, April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Okay. And once we get through with that, we'll be leading up to our midterm exam on Tuesday, April 12th, and our material on the syllabus for this week and next week will complete the material you'll be responsible for on the midterm exam. So look at that material in the notes for lectures 5 and 6. Okay, get ready for that discussion that'll be beginning in about a week, and we'll talk to you a bit more about the material on the syllabus for next week, and perhaps a bit about the midterm exam when we talk to you a week from now at this time.